Good morning and welcome to the morning news on TV3 Newday. My name is Na Ashoko. The headlines. Leaders of Boko factions agreed to lay down arms, urging the youth to support ceasefire and seek peaceful solutions to ongoing conflicts. Health officials warn malaria fight in Africa at critical turning point as drug resistance threatens recent progress in several countries. Also, with the Yuletide near, market activity surges in Accra, promoting and prompting traders to adjust prices as consumer demand for seasonal goods increase. And on the foreign front, Kremlin says the U.S. security strategy accords largely with Russia's view. And the details. Opinion leaders of the factions in the Boko conflict have agreed to lay down their arms and use peaceful means to resolve their differences. During a meeting convened by the military at the Boko Municipal Assembly, the opinion leaders called for a ceasefire and urged the youth to embrace peace. Upper East Regional Correspondent Castro Senaya has more in this report.
The meeting between the opinion leaders of the two factions was convened by the military's Northern General Officer Commanding, Brigadier General Walanyo Agbebo, to find solutions to the hostilities that have characterized the chieftaincy conflict. Since its resurgence in 2021, the Boko chieftaincy conflict has claimed hundreds of lives, destroyed properties, and spread into Binduri. The surge in violence prompted the government to set up a mediation committee led by the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, which has since concluded its sittings and is soon expected to submit its proposals to the government. As the military awaits the implementation of these proposals, it has, in addition to its ongoing efforts, engaged with opinion leaders from the factions.
Who is wrong? We have gone to do that already, and I'm sure we have come to a conclusion. And the final decision is what to come from the presidency. Now that you have agreed over there, can we translate that to our followers on the ground here in a way of other press conference, joint press conference, or whatever, to let them know that yes, what you mean in Kumasi is not just in principle, but in practice you mean it. So it should be done over here, not only in Boku, but whatever Mampusis and Kusasi find themselves.
The age-long chieftaincy conflict has already taken a toll on residents of Boko and stalled development. Taking turns to speak, leaders of the factions agreed to preach peace and urge their youth to exercise restraint.
Very, very happy for this meeting today, which has been initiated by the military. We will talk to our youth. We sincerely will do that and urge them to stop it. And then we'll take out all other actions to stop the violence. It doesn't help. We want peace.
This meeting was very fruitful. Throughout the discussion, we really saw the need for us to talk to the youth, to lay down their arms and let peace prevail. As we have all agreed to mediate to its successful end, now waiting for the roadmap from the president.
As one of the most densely populated municipalities in the Upper East region, Boku was once a preferred trading destination and generated significant revenue through taxes. But since the resurgence of the chieftaincy conflict, the once vibrant town has slowly lost its former glory. The municipal chief executive, Isaac Azonaba, bemoaned the impact of the conflict on development and urged the factions to abide by the peace initiative to help restore Boko to its former glory.
when they go back and work with the roadmap, what they have told us, what they have agreed to work, I know that peace will soon return to Baku, and I will be the happiest person. Thank you so much.
Having had a successful engagement with the opinion leaders, the military says it plans to also engage with the youth in Boko. For TV3 News, Castro Sinyala, Boko.
With Christmas just around the corner, market activities and spending trends are rapidly changing to match the Christmas season. Noura Mohammed took the streets of Accra to monitor how the approaching festive season is beginning to affect the general prices of goods and if traders are benefiting from higher demands of certain goods.
The Christmas mood is gradually taking center stage. People are traveling back to their hometowns, and salary workers, hopeful for a 13th month salary, are making their wish list. The central business district of Accra is no doubt experiencing an influx. From the weary truck pusher to the bubbly market woman looking to make great sales, the trotro and taxi drivers frustrated from the mounting traffic, to the average Ghanaian buyer slowly checking off their Christmas list. As expected, spending trends have changed, with specific goods such as rice, oil, poultry products and clothing grow higher in demand, ultimately leading to increased prices. Taking to some markets in Accra, I engaged some traders on the market activity and sales this season.
For Christmas and you'll be a tough fresh one for salad. So we bread them to brush this freezer. Ending a tough fresh.
It's a slow start. By comparing December to the other month, I think it's okay now. People are coming more in the market. You know, I mean, there's human traffic here now, so I would say it will be good. By a slow start, but I think it will be good. Since it's a festive season, prices are increasing everywhere. And because the demand are coming very high, so definitely price will increase.
When I'm making money, I started work by 6. By now, I'm happy about this Christmas. The prices are not increasing. It's low costs because of the traffic and the population in the town, so that we increase it small. Yeah, something like going to Circle from Tudu, you're going to Circle before it is 40 cities. But right now, we can make it 50 cities for you.
Some traders also compare the previous season's prices to this season's.
Last year, more 9 million, 9, 5, 10 million, Timin Tom Ponton, near to local 70, 80. But and then I'm out of my 5, 8, 4, 8, 4 million. To this year, alhamdulillah, no man will for. Tiama market in Sumu.
This year, the price number for last year, make I say to Jenny 1 bag. 4,500, but this year, 1,008, 1,007, 1,005, 1,003.
As a countdown to Christmas picks pace, traders are hopeful that a last-minute rush will bring more business, while shoppers brace themselves for price hikes and only hope these hikes are reasonable. Noura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has conducted operations in the eastern region, raiding an illegal mining site at Isum in the Kwaibibrim district. The task force observed illegal miners working along the stream called Nukuru, which flows into the Birim River within the palm plantation. During the operation, 6 Chinese nationals and 1 Ghanaian were arrested. Authorities also seized excavators, vehicles and other equipment used at the site. Several makeshift structures constructed by the illegal miners were destroyed by the task force as part of the crackdown. The operation underscores ongoing efforts by authorities to curb illegal mining and protect Ghana's waterways and natural resources. And away from Galamsey, let's do some health-related matters. Health officials are warning that the fight against malaria in Africa has reached a critical turning point, with drug resistance threatening recent progress. Partial resistance to some of the drugs have been confirmed or is suspected in at least 8 African countries, including regions in East Africa and some parts of the Horn of Africa.
According to the latest World Health Organization report, 2024 saw an estimated 282 million malaria cases globally and 610,000 deaths. About 95% of those deaths occurred in the African region, with children under 5 disproportionately affected. The backbone of malaria treatment across Africa, artemisinin-based combination therapies, face growing challenges. At a regional dialogue on malaria drug resistance in Africa, on the sidelines of the ICASA conference, scientists encouraged more efforts from government to protect the cure. Partial resistance to the drug has now been confirmed or suspected in at least 8 African countries.
And they have varied forms of the mutations, and they are gradually increasing. So the African leaders, I think, should take this as a very important issue and support their countries. Take ownership.
Ghana is yet to experience drug resistance in the treatment of malaria. Dr. Hilarious Abiu is the National Malaria Elimination Program Manager.
If we don't protect the medicines we are using now and we develop resistance, we are going to cough up multiple times the amount of money we are spending currently to treat malaria, just to make sure that our people recover when they get malaria. So it will require a lot of investment.
CSOs want government to focus more on preventive mechanisms.
Many countries who really have developed, they've invested in research, and I think Ghana government, apart from prevention, that we are calling them to invest in, they should also maybe invest in research.
Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health and a member of the coalition of parliamentarians engaged to end malaria in Africa reaffirmed their commitment to efforts to eliminate malaria.
The fight to end malaria is not only a scientific issue. It is not only about the mutation of the malaria parasite. It is about how, as a society or as a country, can vote resources to fight against this malaria parasite.
Experts warn that if resistance continues to spread unchecked, Africa could see significant increases in treatment failures, putting millions at risk and jeopardizing decades of progress against malaria.
And still on health, the World Health Organization is urging governments and health stakeholders to strengthen policies that support innovation and community engagement for safe integration of traditional medicine into national healthcare systems. Speaking at a high-level meeting on the sidelines of the ICASA conference, which was held in Ghana, the WHO Afro-Technical Advisor, Dr. Angela Akon, raised concerns about weak regulatory frameworks in many countries.
Across Africa, where a large proportion of the population continues to rely on traditional remedies, the WHO acknowledges that progress has been made. However, sustained investment, rigorous research and stronger partnerships are still needed to address regulatory and scientific gaps. WHO is recommending that African countries expand ongoing integration pilot programs, invest in capacity building, and intensify collaboration between traditional healers and biomedical practitioners. Speaking at a high-level meeting on the sidelines of the ICASA conference in Ghana, WHO Afro-Technical Advisor Dr. Angela Akon warned that without proper standards, traditional medicine cannot be safely mainstreamed into formal healthcare.
We still have a lot to do in West Africa, and we need to push more for traditional medicine to be recognized and then to be done in a better way. And the most important thing is that we are helping with herbal medicines. We are using plants, but then we are not regrowing these plants. We are not putting them back as we are supposed to do. So with time, these plants might go in extinction. And this is something that we need to work at. We need to put up more of our plant medicine farms so that in the end, we don't get locked up.
But beyond regulation, experts say the very resources that fuel traditional medicine are under threat. The head of clinical research at the Center for Plant Medicine Research, Dr. Mavis Poachiyadom, highlighted the rapid depletion of medicinal plant species in Ghana, calling it a major risk to the future of traditional therapies.
Ongoing investments, research and collaboration are still important and key to be considered if we are to promote traditional medicine to the level where it needs to get to. And then I would like to use this opportunity to call stakeholders to action, to support policies, to encourage innovation, as well as the engagement with the community if we are to keep the product safe and effective and keep the practice relevant within our healthcare systems.
The WHO also noted that strengthening conservation, research and practitioner training will be key to ensuring that traditional medicine remains both safe and sustainable for the millions who depend on it.
And away from health, we now take you to the Western region, where Irama Smith reports that a key storage facility, a potential game changer for Ghana's agricultural sector, remains abandoned. The silo, initiated by Ghana's first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, still stands incomplete. To make matters worse, the lands set aside for supporting farming activities have been encroached upon by private individuals. There's more in the following report.
In the heart of Apollo, a Fiakwesiminti municipality of the Western region, stands a towering relic of Ghana's ambitious past, a silo born from Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's vision to harvest the region's bounty. Yet decades of neglect have made it a haunting reminder of unrealized dreams. Successive governments left it stranded, a symbol of agricultural potential half-baked. Western Regional Agricultural Director Nana Begin Akwa Thompson, whose ministry is in charge, says officials made a lone visit, but the dust settled and silence swallowed hope. Today, encroachers have taken over its support lands as the almost complete silo bleeds.
The land which was procured and was being used for agri activities have been encroached by these hoteliers and individuals around the place. It is directly under the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Some time ago, they came around for us to go around to check all these silos and warehouses in the region. But it got to nowhere.
The Western region, which was once positioned to gain from a national storage system, is now forced to depend on private facilities. To address this, Nanabein Akwa Thompson is calling for the construction of district warehouses at strategic locations.
If the government will take a value look at this end, providing warehouses in strategic places in the region, it is going to help us to make sure that food that comes will be in a position where we will be able to get enough to store, get enough to transit to other districts, to other regions. And that will have been a very good one.
During the National Farmers' Day exhibition, Faustina Japasu and Vida Boafo voiced the frustrations of farmers. As the abandoned silos fade away, Ghana's agricultural dreams linger with a call to reclaim the promise Nkrumah planted. Irama Smith, TV3 News, Takoradi.
And now we turn our attention to some news on the foreign front. Russia has welcomed U.S. President Donald Trump's new national security strategy, calling it largely consistent with Moscow's vision. The 33-page document unveiled by the U.S. administration this week suggests Europe is facing civilizational erasure and does not cast Russia as a threat to the U.S. Combating foreign influence, ending mass migration, and rejecting the EU's perceived practice of censorship are mentioned as some of the priorities in this report. Several EU officials and analysts had pushed back on the strategy, questioning its focus on the freedom of expression and likening it to the language used by the Kremlin. The strategy adopts a softer approach and softer language towards Russia, which EU officials worry could weaken its stance towards Moscow, and it pushes for an end to the war in Ukraine. And that will be all for the news bulletin this morning on TV3 Newday. New Day continues shortly. My name is Na Ashokor, and like George Craning always says, in a world where you can't be anything, be kind.
And Beatrice still went.
And it's a wonderful brand new day. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Ghana. Good morning, world, wherever you're watching us from. You're welcome to TV3 Newday. It's a Monday, and we're pumped and we're energized. We're full of positive vim and vibes, and we're praying for a beautiful week, aren't we?
Yes.
Well,
the 8th of December 2025.
Yes, just one day after the famous date in December.
Exactly.
The most famous date in December in Ghana is December 7th.
Yep.
So it's not 25th of December.
Yes.
It's not
every 4 years
December.
you mark your calendar.
Yes, but you know, no matter what year we're in, December 7th is always like, it's a significant day to remember our elections.
And, yesterday I saw on people's statuses on WhatsApp how busy they were and in which state they found themselves exactly a year ago.
Yes.
Quite interesting.
Well, and I have to say that there were a lot of trolls, especially for MPP.
On
Facebook, on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And the whole of yesterday, I saw, for example, Pepra, Kwabna Pepra, one of those Wanderlust adventurers, posts a video of Dennis Maraka Abuaji saying that they were winning. And during that press conference, the allusion he made to the King Solomon story of being a wise man, following those two women who came with a baby, and there had to be a decision made and a division of the live baby to get to perhaps also exert some sort of emotion from who the real mother of the baby was. And so
it was interesting.
it was quite interesting. And so over the last month, we've had a lot of activities, and by maybe some divine coincidence, we've had President John Nyekum Kufuor, the former president of our republic, who also was the first president to usher in an MPP executive government to make commentary, first with Beatrice Edu and then with Delay as well, all on TV3 as well as relevant social media platforms, commenting on his party's government and performance in office.
Exactly.
And I think that dovetails and also coincides significantly a year on to this election exactly.
Exactly. It's been exactly 1 year. And the commentary has actually come from everywhere. And because of that feature on social media now that allows you to see a year by this time. So, it's on all social media platforms now.
It's almost like a reminder.
Exactly. It's like a reminder of what happened on this day exactly a year ago. And there has been political commentary. There has been commentary by Ghanaians as a whole. But most importantly, there has been the question that exactly 1 year after the elections, it's a good time for us to take stock of what has happened over the last 1 year, the promises that were made by the government, the timelines that were set by the government, and whether or not they have been able to deliver according to the promises and according to the expectations of Ghanaians. So in addition to the funny commentary and the trolling that one side of the political divide has received, there's also the question of accountability on how we're doing so far.
Yeah, accountability, very interesting. But again, you don't want to be in the shoes of any politician at this time, especially if you're on the other side, and the kind of comments that you made and how they are being brought back to you, and perhaps the kind of thoughts that will be going through your mind, even moving into the next major election in 2028.
So significantly, I guess it's also a day for all of us to have this discussion broadly. Your election command center, we brought you the best coverage as it is by public accolades, not to also blow our own horn, which we have to do, by the way, because we're the leading media house right here in Ghana and then also West Africa. But as we do that also, we have to ask you the question, what you make of the last 12 months exactly, but more importantly, that election that took place a year ago, what will be some of the most memorable moments, but what you think could have been done right or done wrong, especially whether we learned lessons from 2020 into 2024 general elections in itself. And so, well, I think that all of us need to participate, right? Do we have cash out?
Yeah, we do. *439#. You follow the prompt, you pick your favorite platform, which is right here, TV3. That is number 2. But let me remind you, Roland, that actually in 25th of December, there is a jackpot. 30,000 Ghana cedis going to...
30,000, 300 million. Wow.
to go into...
one person?
No, 4 individuals.
Oh, okay.
Yes, 4.
Because that wouldn't be fair.
Yes, we are looking forward to 25th of December. I guess you're looking forward to it as well. The last time it was 20,000 to 3 individuals. This time, 30,000 to 4 individuals. So we're looking forward to that, 25th of December. But today and the rest of the week, you have the opportunity to get 1,000 Ghana cedis every day. We're giving that to 10 people. So 10,000 cedis to 10 people every day. That star 439#, you follow the prompt and you pick your favorite platform right here on TV3.
Awesome.
So keep playing.
Awesome, awesome. So we're going to go into this morning in a bit, but what are we doing on big issues today?
Well, so we're looking at a year on, and then also you would know that the whole of yesterday was giving us some shivers down our spine as West African citizens, because just prior, we had all the news coming in that Benin, there had been attempt to, well, initially the reports were there was a coup in Benin. And we know that Benin is one of the most stable democracies of recent times in West Africa. And then, of course, the narrative then followed with a video of some armed military men who then were having a live broadcast, and that live broadcast then was viral on social media as to a coup d'etat, a dethronement of that elected executive president or government as well. Subsequently, we've had a number of interventions that have been made. ECOWAS is coming. We're told currently, as of this morning, that apparently there were interventions from Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, there were interventions from Togo as well, and then, of course, Ghana. To be able to forestall whatever exigencies that could have been recorded there.
I mean, it was quite surprising hearing that, like you rightly said, from Benin. If anything at all, you'd expect that it would come perhaps from Togo, because in the last few months, they've had a number of issues trying to overthrow the Nyasingbe family from government, like they say. So it means that there's still a lot more to be done within the sub-region.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the plotters or attempters have been arrested, and they are currently behind bars, except the leader and I think 2 others who are still at large. But it's nice to see that even though there was a military attempt, there are still loyalists in the military who were able to preserve the administration and the government. It was a failed attempt, and I think that's good news. I mean, when the news began, we were all concerned about where it was going, especially after that live broadcast, and some journalists were held for some time. When we hear news like that, you know, it's a little destabilizing, it's a little concerning, especially in this age of free media. But it was good news to hear that the attempt was thwarted and the administration is still ongoing and preserved. But we'll get into it further on big issues. We're also going to be talking about mathematics.
Yes.
We know that following the release of the WASI results, mathematics was one of the subjects which was very, was very poor. The results were very poor. And this is not the first time. We hear this every year. It's not just WASI, it's also BECE. In fact, even in tertiary institutions, where there's the need or compulsory need for accounting, economics, anything that has mathematics, it's often challenging for a lot of students. And the question is why? Is it because maths is difficult? Is it because the teaching and learning methods are outdated? Is it because we are quickly going through the curriculum? We're going to have an extended conversation on that. So you want to listen if you have a ward in school, or if you yourself are studying mathematics, or you're concerned about this problem. So we have all that and more. But first, we are going to go straight into this morning, where you get to call and be a part of the conversation. We are reflecting 1 year after the elections. What lessons can be learned? Let's take accountability, or take account of the last 1 year and see if we are actually walking towards the 2025 that we expected, 2026 that we expected, the promises that were made, the concerns that Ghanaians had, problems being solved. Are we on the way? Let us know. You can call us now. It's time for This Morning.
Yes, so it's exactly 12 months, the 7th of December, since the general election. And, well, we have our first caller actually on the line. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Your name, where you're calling us from?
Good
morning. My name is Louis Francis from Upper West.
Yes, sir.
Roland, you say, and now you say Ansuma in the Wali language. When we say Ansuma, you say ACA.
We say what? How do we respond?
ACA.
It's ACA.
Thank you. I think it's quite a challenge. I want to comment on the WASI results. It's a compilation of a lot of things. It's not only about materials not being available. We have to look at the wide setup of our education system, from the KG level to the primary level up to the senior high, and even the university. If you check critically, our curriculum is developed in a way that students are to chew or memorize and use. If you check our curriculum well, I think practical is less. New curriculum sought to implement a practical-based method. Now, mostly what we see is that students are still memorizing. And when they memorize and they don't understand something, they are forced to copy or to cheat. And I think that we need a lot of reforms in order to have a smooth future in our country. Then back to the group, I think Africans, we need to be serious. Because if you check critically, those military leaders, they are being praised a lot more than our democratic elected president. If you check Burkina, his people are in love with him because of the work that he's putting in. But when you come to the democracy elected or democratic elected president, you see that they do as if we are there to serve them. Meanwhile, they are there to serve us. I'm not trying to be political here, but you could see what happened in the previous regime, forcing chiefs to breed. They were just behaving as if they were in control, like what we say is what you do, even if you don't want it, but we will force it on you. Look at our president will be 90 years, and still they will still want to be in power. I think we have to be serious as a nation, as people of Africa. I think we will go a long way to help us. Now, my mother extends her greetings to you. She loves you a lot.
Oh, my love to your mother too. My love to her too. Thank you so much. I appreciate the call.
Okay.
Right, now let's go to Tamale.
It looks like our callers are dodging our question. Yeah, so repose a question.
Yes, so we are asking you, 1 year on after the 2024 general election, what do you think? Have we been able to do what we promised we would do? We're taking account of the last 1 year. So I think we have another caller from Tamale. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Your name and what you've got to say. Hello? Okay, looks like we lost him on the line.
Yes, we had a caller from Tamale. I hope you can call us back. But let's talk about this. It's important. It's 1 year, 1 whole year since the elections, and it's important for us to reflect and see how far we have come. How are we doing 1 year on with the new government in terms of infrastructure, social policies, governance, in terms of your pocket, in terms of the promises that were made, the timelines that were set? What is your assessment of our progress so far? We have a caller joining us now from Waluwale. Hello.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Roland. Beatrice.
Good morning.
You are doing a fantastic job for Mother Ghana. Please keep it on.
Thank you.
So far, so good. I can say things are moving in the right direction. Why do I say this? Somewhere last year, at the same time, we used to buy maize somewhere around 600, 700. But this time around, you can get a bag of maize for 300 Ghana cedis or less. So I can see things are moving better than it was.
Maize?
Yes.
It's gone from 600 to 300?
Yes.
Wow. Where are you buying your maize from?
Wali.
From Waluwale. Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah. Things are not going well in Wale Wale. This one goes to the government. If they are listening, they have abandoned us ever since they won power. Things are not working. Most especially our PC. They just left him as if he was not even part of the government. So if they are listening, things are not going. They should send people down.
What things are you talking about?
I am saying that I've assessed the year, and I'm saying that Wale Wale, we the NDC, we are suffering. Most especially our PC, who couldn't win the seat for them. They have abandoned him. And I'm telling the government that if they are listening, they should send people down to investigate. Because they are listening to half truths, which is not the best.
Abandon him how? What is the government supposed to do for him?
They were supposed to get him a place, and they have just abandoned him. And the painful aspect of it is that they are saying that whosoever supported him will never get anything. And I'm saying this for authority. That you can send your cameras down and they investigate what I am saying. I'm not making a one allegation.
All right.
I am saying the fact. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that call from Wale Wale. You can also call us. Let us know what your thoughts are on this matter. We have a caller from Tamale, and just knowing he's from Tamale, it's just broken my heart all over again after that House of Oak defeat in Tamale yesterday. All right.
Okay, Billy Shen will come and talk about it later. We'll show you a little bit. But yes, please tell us your name and what you've got on your mind.
This Yael calling you from Tamale, Tantra.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity given me.
Sure.
Hello?
Please, we can hear you. Please go ahead with your points.
Thank you for the opportunity given me. This is Yael calling you from Tamale, Tantra. First, in fact, JM now 11 months now. But in fact, if you are the judge and in fact the promise that he told us as Ghanaians, in fact, we see the impact. Almost 100% of the promise have been successfully done. So what am I saying too? In fact, no academic fee policy for all first years level-handed students. To start. It's not easy. In fact, we were able to tell us that in fact, we're going to deliver after we give him the money. Now we are claiming. All our first year students are not paying the fees. Because other government, in fact, we are not seeing all these things. In fact, that's the big achievement that we have achieved so far. And I think that, whether you like it or not, the increment of food items and those things that we were seeing at the past administration now is not being a fact. This government has let Ghanaians know that it's really coming to reset the country. Other government used to mess up everything. When you ask questions, they will say there's supposed to be autocratic style leadership. Sir, you cannot be asked any question again at that time. Right now, he has opened all the doors to every Ghanaian to come up with the problem so that the opinion leaders, the president advisors, the cabinet ministers, they will sit down and come up with the solution. Hello?
We can hear you, sir.
This is a good and wonderful part leaders that we ever have in this country, apart from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Sir, let us pray for this government to continue to be in power. Because what am I saying to? The road infrastructure, in fact, when we come for the flood as it has, I don't know whether after Kumasi to between Kumasi to Accra. Sir, in fact, that road was so tight in the extent that, in fact, our vehicle were, in fact, we were just bouncing as we were going to pass line down there. But now, he has taken it upon himself. People award it as a contract, and then the money is nowhere to be found. Now, JM has come up with another additional money to finish this project. This is a wonderful leader that we are looking for. So let's pray for him to continue in power. The good way that we are seeing, the first 1 year now that we are seeing now, it's a good impact for this country, and we the youth are proud of what the kind of work that he's doing. God continue to bless the NDC, and let me extend my grace to my honorable have my grace to, and my senior central professor, Ali the Man Masidu. This coming.
Please keep it short. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling us from Tamale.
Please keep the comments very short, okay?
Region, yes. So that other people can have the opportunity to also talk. But I think we have Sani now. Good morning to you, Sani. Thank you very much for joining us. Tell us where you're
Good
calling
morning.
from. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling from Wali Wali. How are you too?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, thank God. Wali Wali, you are fine. Everybody is doing well. And in fact, last year, for instance, the economic condition of this country was too harsh, like my brother in Wali Wali said. In fact, we were buying a bag of maize, almost 700 Ghana cedis. And today, Wali Wali is not even up to 300 Ghana cedis. So areas they even sell it 270 Ghana cedis. So it has really trickled down to the bowl of 20. But that one was also used to sold 10 cedis. But today it's 3 cedis. Okay, depending on the area that you go, it's not even up to 5 cedis. So we are very happy. Inflation is down, especially food inflation. Inflation, which was about 23%, I mean, it's now a single digit, 6%. So everybody is quite happy about that. And the corruption and all that, in fact, we've seen, no corruption anymore. You see, one are the days where every government official was engaged in corruption, including their wives. Today we don't see that. So we are very grateful to the Excellency President Mahama. And like my brother said, in fact, Wali things are not good at all. And it is too early. I want to call on the government to really send investigators to come down, in fact, and do the right thing. Because the parliamentary candidate, that is Honorable Abuwa, he was a TNC man. So in 2016, the NDC people, they went and brought him to come and stand on the ticket of NDC. So since then, one is where the vice president comes from, the former vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So this man, he's been gaining a lot of votes for the NDC. For example, the last election, he had about 20,000 votes for His Excellency John Mahama. Meanwhile, when you go to when you go to Gojeland, NDC, they were not able to get votes as compared to Wali Wali. But I don't know. Some people went and told the government president that, the PC was supporting Bawumia and all that. So because of that, they have neglected him. And that is not the case. So it is too early. So they have to look at him and then give me appointment. What they are doing is not the right thing. Wali Wali were NDC supporters. You understand? We love the party. But they are trying to use Dr. Bawumia's case and say that, he should have won in Wali Wali. And that cannot be possible. That is where the Dr. Bawumia comes from. So you can't use that one as a yardstick to punish him and say he didn't do the right thing. So I'm appealing to President Mahama. He should look at it, take a second look at it, and then support the man because his people are suffering, which is not good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling in and for sharing your thoughts with us. You realize how people are gunning for their representatives.
No, the same person. I think that this one is a scheme.
He went and came back.
The thing they are doing is a scheme. Okay. The callers. Yeah, they're all from Wale Wale.
Well, anyway.
But I think substantively, we also want you to share memories of where you were the last year, this time around, because that would have been the day after the voting process itself, and then the coverage was still ongoing. By this time, we were preparing for, I think, the press conferences by the parties would have been maybe by the next 1 hour or so.
There's a message from, talking of where people were, a message from Aziz Donlawa. It says 1 year on, he's actually just talking about what we have seen. We're not paying e-levy, COVID tax, emissions tax, betting tax. A bag of Lisa rice that was selling at 960 cedis is now selling at 540.
Okay.
Anyway, so
the question is not necessarily about you assessing the economy, so to speak. It's about the election process in itself, your experiences, what lessons we can take from that, etc. So you add that to your commentary as well.
On our part, we were here. We're here running a 24-hour coverage. We were staying here. We weren't going home.
Those drinking coffee.
Yeah. we were surviving on coffee and green tea and a lot of water.
Yeah.
And our marketing team took very good care of us. They kept us fed and awake.
Yeah.
And I remember even after our shifts, we couldn't leave because we're running 6-hour shifts. And you'd be on air from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. And when it was time to leave, you just couldn't leave because you didn't want to miss any of the breaking news stories.
Exactly.
So the APL team, they were here. They were stationed in the control room, and then we were all, sort of behind them the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was a very I don't know.
The adrenaline was
eye-opening
something
experience
else.
for me because it was my first time working on elections like this. I've done some reporting in the past, various elections, but this was my first time actually working full-time, hands-on on an election.
Doing analysis,
doing analysis in studio for an election like this. So for me, it was a very eye-opening experience, and I learned so much about live reporting, and I actually also thoroughly enjoyed the process. And I didn't realize how exhausting I was until it was all over.
It's always like that.
And then I couldn't get out of bed.
Yes, it's always like that. I mean, he looks like some 16-year-old.
And this suit was flown in from London for Roland, and I think Park was here at the time.
That's a lie.
And this was FCC.
Yeah, this was the morning, the dawn to midday, right?
Okay, this was
yes.
Or to 11, yes.
That's dawn.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And, the gentleman looked so handsome.
Lovely.
Led by Roland over there. And Roland hasn't won this suit since the elections. I think he's saving it for the 2028 general elections. Because he hasn't won it since.
Don't Roland, make you look like a wedding dress. Break it.
Where is the suit?
I'm wearing it every 3 months. So
every 3 months.
4 times in a year.
I check for time. Yeah. And, every morning, when you went to the makeup room and you saw Roland doing his makeup and that.
But you were not here, so.
Were
we in the same team?
We weren't on the same team.
No, you were. Yes, you were on the same team.
It was you and I and Pakwesi.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's how come I was running into
you
in the makeup room. And Pakwesi, I don't know whether he was the best man on this day after the report, but...
Yeah, 3
What do you call the inner vest? The vest, right?
Yeah.
He was all dressed up.
You liked his,
looking very sharp, like I was a starch. Oh my, good times.
Yeah, it was. Let's go to Alhaji.
Anyway,
Yes, Alhaji joins us live on the phone as well. Good morning to you, Alhaji. Oh, now we're showing now.
Look at me.
Look at me. You looked all lovely.
Look at me.
Alhaji will come to you very shortly.
But
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a research person there.
Yes, Adam Bona. He had not then had his appointment at the Small Arms, right? Yes. So, but let's go to Alhaji, who joins us on the phone. Good morning to you, Alhaji. Tell us where you're calling us from. What's on your mind?
Beatrice, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, fine. Now, and my friend Roland, that's right.
Nah, Wula. Nah, Gombian.
Send my blessing to Kupiti and Municipal Chief Executive for Stagnarvo, Honorable Abdullahi Muru Bong, and Shabi Mabuse Azalaja Alasan, and Honorable Benata Yako, First Speaker of Parliament, and Dr. Asukara Wumbi, and Chief of Staff, Honorable GSL and Chairman for Fampo. Is he assistant 1 year? I think some of us will understand our country is due for 1 year, but now our country is set. Because last year, by this time, Natia, back is 860 Ghana cedis. This time, Natia is 420 Ghana cedis. 420 Ghana cedis. Just use your Kumo sign to judge this thing. You see, when you look at that past, I think we have been suffering. Yes, 600 to 750 Ghana cedis. But it's around 300 Ghana cedis to 320. You see, when you look at this, it means that President John Dramani Mahama 1 year is solid. It's more than President Akufo-Addo 8 years. Because people is crying. Because of Ghanaians coming out, we have numbers to vote His Excellency John Dramani Mahama because of the research. Last year by this time, in the voting day, MPP, they increased the petrol price. And last year by this time, and we buy the petrol 1 liter is 17 Ghana cedis. A liter. By this time, 11 and 12 Ghana cedis. So this shows that the best management economy, and we have a discussion now. Ghana don't want to die again, or we Ghana will not make mistakes to give entities power. They will keep in long in opposition 42 years. But we just want to tell our leaders, some of them, the discussion rejecting people call. And a lot of people is complaining. They should do the right thing. If you have somebody number and that person call you, just answer that person call. And I think some of them, we need to appreciate them and clap hands for them. Like Chef Computer and lawyer Edoji Samapulo and others. And they have done their best for the youth. And Honorable Mohammed Abisa and a board. And some of them, we can say they are doing good things. Now, sometimes when you look at our people, I think some of them, they don't want we should keep long in power, but we would force it to do the right thing. So let's keep on praying for the country. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you so much for calling in and for sharing your thoughts with us. Yes, the numbers are still displayed on your screen, but let me tell you about this. There's a world-class university right here in Ghana, Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the ADV Tech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City Guild UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, MBA, Master of Science, and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We also offer hospitality and culinary arts, available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Pebia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens.
All right, we have another caller joining us on the phone now from Kasua. Hello?
Yeah, hello, this is Francis.
Good morning, Francis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Francis, a year on, what have you got to say about how we're doing?
Yes, it's all about the student who just failed. I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I'm a teacher, but I'm no longer teaching based on some of these things.
Okay.
You see, the failing of the children, at times, we see that the kids are failed, they are not learning their social media. Yes, it is true. But you see, the children failed in the curriculum that we are using already. So the curriculum itself is a failure. Now, we are in a country where they panel so-called professors in education who sit down to write the curriculum. All that they do, take our curriculum and study the curriculum very well. You see Japanese curriculum inside. You see the US curriculum inside. They copy from US curriculum, the Cambridge curriculum. They copy all manner, those European curriculum, and gather them. Now, in 2018, when they brought this curriculum, the mistakes some of us identified, even those who went to workshop, to come and lecture us or teach us how to go and implement, or you ask them questions. By then, I was in a staff district as a teacher. So you ask them questions, they tell you it's a directive from the top, so go and implement. Those who write the curriculum do not even understand. So also they panel from district to district to go and learn and come and see the teachers to go and implement. They don't even understand what they do. By then, it was under Napo as a Minister of Education. So me, when Education became a minister, I was happy because he is an educator thinking that you would have corrected the men. They should rewrite the whole curriculum. They did it.
Are you a JHS teacher or SHS teacher?
I'm JHS teacher. I teach within the basic level. And I'm telling you about the basic. The problem is at the basic. We don't start building from top. We start from the foundation.
Okay. And your issue
is that... We don't build from top. We build from the foundation, from the concrete level.
Okay. And your issue is that the curriculum itself is not appropriate.
The curriculum, those professors, I'm telling you today, those professors in the let's say UCC and UNIBA, they say, call them, they are the knowledgeable people that they gather to write our curriculum. Excuse my word, my boy. They don't
what is wrong with the curriculum exactly?
The curriculum has every class. I'm telling you, take the curriculum. You realize that they only copy other countries' curriculum.
Okay, I'm asking you, what is wrong with the curriculum?
How that system works. Now, a curriculum should reflect the resources of each nation. That is why, if you look at Ghana here, whatever we learn is not in relation with our resources. So we cannot develop our resources.
Okay, are you speaking to a specific subject or all of it?
The whole of the curriculum should
mathematics,
reflect
English,
the
everything.
resources of the... I said, English is a language. The development of a nation should not be based on a language. We are talking about practical aspects of what we are learning. So the curriculum should reflect the resources, even though it be taught in English. It should reflect all that we are doing in our school is all the way from basic to university. It's about playing around words. That is what we'll keep importing because we are not learning based on the resources we have. That's why China is producing, even though they are using their language, they produce. Who produce more than China? Because their curriculum is based on the resources they have. So they are able to develop it to a finished goods.
All right.
We should go back to the drawing board.
All right.
The children will fail. If the children copy, the professors have been copied. Go and ask them. Their thesis and everything. They copied. They didn't do any research. I went to Kelly College. We copied grandfather and present our research work.
Oh. You also copied in the training college.
You pay people to do your research for you. We know.
I don't know who you're referring to in particular, but
we should allow the children to copy. That's
not the case. That's not the case. That's not the case. Perhaps there are people who do that, but perhaps there are people who do that. But I don't think you can make a blanket statement
from the basic to SHS to the university.
Yeah.
The moment you become a student,
thank you.
The only way to go through the system is to copy, and that is what we do.
No, that's not correct.
To copy.
No, that's not correct. That's not correct. But thank you for the call all the same.
Even the professor who will be calling this morning at the resource you will call today, ask them they should speak the truth. Their research work, their final thesis or whatever they call it, they copy. People write for them.
All right, thank you. I think you've made your point.
They didn't do any research.
I think you've made your point. Very poignant there. So taken into consideration.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
And so there's, if in the back room, there's a division. We're indecisive as to whether we copy or we don't copy as to the relevant project work that are submitted.
I think there are people
it's
who
up for
copy.
It's up for debate.
I want my blanket work. I suspect
all right.
the same.
All right, so we have a couple of comments. This one is coming from Mama Huo of the Asogli State. It
Mama what? Mama Huo. Like Blue Waterfall.
Huo. Last year by this time, I was going around after casting my vote to be sure my vote didn't go waste. All right, and then Prince Nani York is also watching us from the UK. Good morning to you, Nana. Wishing you all the best for the day. He says that a year after the 2024 elections, I can confidently say Ghanaians made the right choice. The vote feels like the second independence indeed, this time from widespread allegations of corruption. Since then, the cedi has strengthened. Inflation has fallen significantly. Road construction is progressing at an impressive pace, and the economy genuinely feels vibrant again. Even the former president has been speaking when he hadn't been speaking previously. It shows that the atmosphere is well enlightened. And then this one is coming from Emmanuel Odei Kodiabe says that when I look at some payments made for some projects to take shape currently, yet nothing, previously, yet nothing much is heard about loans taken from any source. I ask myself whether those sources of funding were available to the previous government. Okay, you're talking about payments made currently for projects outstanding. It also gives a clear sign of misappropriation of states' funds by the previous government. Secondly, I think we need a policy to regulate our local or informal food vendors. Could you imagine we going to buy rice 10 cedis and then the vendor told me, Ensunwo, okay, Ensunwo, okay, so it won't be enough for you. With a massive reduction in food prices, yet this doesn't reflect at the food joint. A small portion of Akrantier is sold for 80 Ghana cedis. Fufu is also fetched for you 15 cedis above. And someone like me, I've chopped more than 30. Hey, you chop fufu? Hey, Iba? I think this sector needs to be checked. So you're talking about price control. I'm not too sure that in a liberal environment like we have by way of a deregulated markets, for trade and commerce, we can do that. All right. And so we have a couple more. So today marks exactly 1 year when we were all busily playing our roles to ensure a resounding victory for ourselves. So let us take a moment of the time. And this one is coming from Alhaji Jibril. And Chairman Riches Kokoti, wishing you all the best for the day as well. Chairman Godwin Tamaklo and the rest of the team at the Rates Group. And then also, I have this one from my friend Zach. Zach, good morning to you. Last year by this time, he wasn't a policy analyst, but now he's a policy analyst, Master Planner Junior. Policy analyst, Kintapo, good morning to you. He says, I was on my bed, heartbroken after 2 days of no sleep. Camping day and night for my dad, into bracket, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to be president. But Allah knows best. We will do it again in 2028. But this time around, winning with Dr. Bawumia, it is still possible with DMB. Master Planner Junior, Policy Analyst, King Tampo, and more comments are coming through. This one is coming from Jane, and Jane says that I was on my way to vote out the MPP, and then Philip Abochi also says a year ago Ghanaians were looking for change, though parliamentary candidate was trying to snatch ballot boxes, but the people of Abuti-Akopel were able to apprehend him, and that's coming from Philip Abochi from Keta. And then Sherry Giovanni says, first of all, we need to show appreciation to God for a peaceful Ghana even after the elections. 1 year after the election, despite inflation being low, 1, food prices are still the same in the market. 2, the government hasn't rolled out the 24-hour economy, which the youth are eagerly waiting for to get employment. 3, the government hasn't paid the annual teachers' allowances. 4, there's no women's development bank. 5, there's no farmer service centers anywhere. Some of us are still struggling to find and make a headway in this economy. We pray the government speed up things to alleviate our situations. And that's coming from Sherry Giovanni. And then Issy Wilson, you live in Leicester, Massachusetts. You celebrate your birthday. You're 40 years today. Happy birthday to you, Issy Wilson. Issy Chiquitita, wishing you all the best for the day as well. So we have more comments coming through. And, yes, do we have more calls?
There's a comment from, before we go on the phone lines, from Simon Yen, very quick one. He says, good morning, Beatrice, Roland, and you all look gorgeous in your attire. Thank you. On the performance of the government, I think so far so good. At least we have seen a lot of infrastructure projects kick off, especially in the road sector. Inflation has gone down significantly. Food prices are relatively low, just that some market women are deliberately refusing to reduce certain food prices and some drivers refusing to reduce lorry fares. I think we have Master Planner Junior on the line. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us this morning as well. Tell us what's on your mind.
Thank you very much, Michi. Good morning, Roland and
Good morning.
Let me take this opportunity to greet former President Nana Akufo-Addo, former Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and then plead with all MPP delegates on 31st January 2026. Please vote for Dr. Bawumia, number 3 on the ballot paper. Now, 1 year on, after President Mahama won the election, I can tell you confidently that this is the worst government in the history of Ghana in terms of 1 year assessment. Why am I saying so? President Mahama and the NDC, during the 2024 campaign, their major campaign policy was 24-hour economy. They did some skirmishes with Galamsey fight, LGBTQ, and then taxes. Now, today, ask yourselves, where is the 24-hour economy? It was the biggest scam the NDC used to win the heart of Ghanaians, especially those who are unemployed. They told them that if you don't understand the 24-hour economy, it is 1-3-3. One job, 3 people, 3 shifts. So those people who were unemployed were happy. They thought if Mahama comes, 24-hour economy is going to solve the unemployment issue that we have. So they voted massively for President Mahama. Today, when you talk about 24-hour economy, they are running away. When you say 1-3-3, they are running away. They promised Women Development Bank. How many years now? It's getting to a year. Not even one funeral page for women has been constructed. President Mahama and NDC in opposition promised the Ghanaian youth that when I come, I'm coming to cancel betting tax. I'm coming to cancel e-levy. After canceling all these taxes, what happened? Currently, we have about 11 taxes. Some are increased and some are fresh. For instance, you have the 8% levy on petroleum products, 30 to 40% increase in all government fees and charges. Water tariff increase, electricity tariff increase. We have the Doomso levy, which has been implemented. Aside that, in the fight against Galamsey, President Mahama told us that he is going to use AI to fight Galamsey. Today, AI is using President Mahama or is using Galamsey to fight President Mahama and his NDC. Today, the NIMOS team will say, Galamsey people are chasing them in Galamsey side. IGP set up a task force to fight Galamsey. The Galamsey people chase them. EPA went on ground to check on Galamsey. The Galamsey chased them. But look at the allocation they gave to Galamsey side. 150 million Ghana cedis. But we allocated 292 to buy parts. It tells you that this government has woefully failed in this 1 year. People are talking about food, that the price of meat has come down. Have you thought of the farmer? The farmer who was selling a bag of meat around 1,300, 1,400. Some people can use those money to build houses, to buy zinc. Today, if you sell one bag of meat, you cannot even buy fertilizer. You cannot buy spray. What are you talking about? The prices of kenke has not reduced. Even the prices of meat has reduced. The kenke we used to buy 10 cedi is even now smaller.
Master Planner Junior, thank you so much for calling in and for sharing your thoughts with us. But just to let you know that the 24-hour economy has actually started in some.
Yeah, I know that, for example, at the TDC, as well as the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, DVLA,
they have already started on that. And also the Women's Bank. I know for a fact that, yes, there are people, I mean, this was something that was being championed by the vice president then, before she became vice president. There are people in her office who are also working towards ensuring that this is solidified. So, yes. But thank you very much for calling in and sharing your thoughts with us. You're still here on Newday on TV3. When we come back, we'll bring you the big issue and some other issues. Do stay with us.
*439 hash. Make sure as many times as you can, you join us on this crusade. And it's led by Na Ashoko Doku Mensa. Mensa Doku, okay. Na Ashoko Mensa Doku, that's the right name. Doku adopted. And many people don't know Na Ashoko has a Christian name called Nazarene. Nazarene. Many people don't know that. But Nazarene is encouraging you to please cash out with us with a New Day team. Choose option 2 when you dial *439 hash. Become one of those lucky winners by increasing the number of tickets. And you know, just like the way Beatrice likes a DeJoy and all the relevant clothing that's provided by the boutique and the outfit, please make sure that you're also reveling or enjoying with us, because you know, we have some great people so far who have joined us. Dr. Tutubuan, he goes by the name Bernard. Dr. Tutubuan, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you. How was your weekend?
Papa Ray.
Great man. Yeah, and thank you for everything.
Sure.
I love it as well. And then with the United Party, a year ago, they were the movement for change. They transitioned, and so there's been a lot of transition that has engulfed a lot of organizations, individuals as well. And one member of the United Party, very prominent, has been, I believe, over the last 2 years. Yeah, 2023, they decided to break away from the MPP, and since then, it's been a roller coaster ride for the renegade former MPP members, now United Party members. And they've made the party shine indeed. They're now the center stage when it comes to Ghana's politics. And so, lawyer Apia Dankwaise, good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
Yeah. And then Elikem Kotoko as well, also doubles as a deputy, is it general secretary?
Deputy National Organizer.
Okay, Deputy National Organizer of the NDC, currently with the Forestry Commission as the Deputy CEO there. Elikem Kotoko, how are you?
I'm fine, my brother.
Nice meeting you once again. And sometimes when I'm watching your posts on social media, you throw salvos, but it doesn't matter. Please, if you've joined us across social media, particularly on Facebook and YouTube, etc., please make sure that you share the stream. Let's have some great conversation. And our topics this morning, very poignant. The last one will be about whether the attempted coup in Benin also create again the trepidation among many of us that West Africa indeed living by the tag, an instability region or unstable region when it comes to governance, democracy on the African continent. And so one of our loyal viewers, contributors right here on TV3 Newday, Yemole Yemo, celebrated the birthday yesterday. And so happy birthday to you, Yemole Yemo. I hope it was yesterday or Saturday. So however it was, Yemole Yemo. You live in the UK. Happy birthday to you. And wishing you all the best as well. And then also, A.C. Wilson lives in Leicester, Massachusetts, United States of America. Great friend. You turned 40 years today. Welcome to 40. Yeah, that's why they tell you life begins at 40. All those things are lies, you know. 40 brings more pressure, but again, know how you handle them well. And so, all of you who've joined us, I've seen Lebene Ahiabo, Agongo Roja. Lebene was my coursemate as well, so it's good I have my coursemate watching me. Awudu Yusuf, you've joined us. Yemole Yemo, I see you. Nana and Katia as well. Prince Daniel York, Obrimpong Kaba, Charles Thompson of the UK, Mensa as well from Albany, New York has joined us. And then I'm also seeing Zilis Dwayne. Liverpool won over the weekend, so that's a great one as well. Oh, okay. And so was that why Salah was complaining? Salah was complaining. And Pearl has also joined us as well. Please share the stream. Let's have some great conversations thereof. But we have a number of conversations so far. So quickly, I'll just run this by you, please. Elikem, a year on. A year on. What was the anxiety into the election, and were there lessons from 2020 that perhaps also guided you as a national officer and somebody who played in the space into the election in itself?
Yeah, Roland, thank you. Good morning. And before I start, I think I'd rather use this moment to also express profound gratitude and also honor for our fallen heroes who, in one way or the other, contributed largely to where we have gotten to, not only as a party, but as a nation. Most recent being the victims of the airplane crash, and I don't need to mention their names. And also to congratulate President Mahama for the stellar speech he delivered at the Doha Forum, where you could tell that his statement was not only about Ghana, not only about Africa, but entirely about the developing nations and the relevance of education. The fact that when there's crisis, schools are the first to close and the last to reopen, when they are supposed to be the source of hope and all of that. Yes, a year on, I think Ghana has made progress. As a people, I am very convinced that many are those watching us today who can tell confidently that we indeed are not where we want to be, but we are no more where we were, and we are on the path to where we want to go. And there could not be any better time than to state or say that you contributed to this by voting for President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. And if you ask further, I am sure that the numerous programs being rolled out, the vision with which he is resetting Ghana, obviously putting the whole nation under construction, and not in a rush to do things or in a haste to do things, but taking it steadily and demonstrating that indeed the African leader can do it best and can do it if given the opportunity. It has only been a matter of choice that some have led us on the wrong path. He is doing this so far with 58 ministers, and that also is very significant. And you can outline the numerous programs, be it the National Apprenticeship Program, the Big Push, which is seeing a whole construction all over, Ejumurura, which is bringing out other skills development programs, and many others. And indeed, I am very happy also that for this first year, not a single scandal has been heard of the administration, which means the president himself is on top of issues, and you dare not, as an appointee, do anything contrary or anything that will bring his government down. And so far, so good. I am convinced when you get out there on the streets also, looking at the basic things we talk about, how much is the fuel price? What is inflation now? From 20-something or one time 54% to 6.5 or 6.3. What is our debt to GDP? What is Gold Board doing? A whole lot of things to talk about. But like I said, we are not yet where we want to be, but we are no more where we were. And there's steady progress being made, which we must all be grateful for.
But importantly, we have to say that within the period, especially within the first quarter of this year, one of the individuals who received a lot of accolades from commentators in civil society, governance, etc., was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for the concession speech. All right. So, of course, he's received a flack for it during the within this period of their presidential primary campaigns. He's been getting a lot of flack from all sides as well. But this is his concession speech.
Election, even though we await final collation for a number of seats. However, I believe ultimately that these will not change the overall outcome. I have just called His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to congratulate him as President-elect of the Republic of Ghana. I said during the signing of the Peace Pact that I was sure of two things. Ghana will win and peace will reign. The people of Ghana have spoken. The people have voted for change at this time, and we respect that decision with all humility. I thank God Almighty for how far he has brought me, and I submit to his will. I am making this concession speech before the official announcement by the Electoral Commission to avoid further tension and preserve the peace of our country. It is important that the world investor community continues to believe in the peaceful and democratic character of Ghana. These are our most important assets. Ghana is more important than our individual political ambitions, and we must always put Ghana first. While this was not our desired outcome, I say this is part of the democratic process. We put our best foot forward in the contest, explaining our policies and programs. However, it is sometimes the case that the voter would have other ideas. I am very proud of the efforts of our campaign team, and I thank them very much. I assure His Excellency John Dramani Mahama of my full support in the transition process. As committed Democrats, we pledge to ensure that we have a very smooth transition so that the business of government will continue seamlessly. The MPP would offer the needed support to the new government in a very responsible way.
Well, and so those were the early moments of getting to know what the shape of Ghana's parliament will look like, and then also what the numbers were for the ultimate winner who became the president-elect, sworn into office as well, John Dramani Mahama, alongside his vice presidential candidate. And then also, well, by the close of that day, we all got to know, exactly a year ago, we all got to know what the numbers were looking like for John Dramani Mahama. And of course, there were massive overhaul for Akufo-Addo, the president-elect in 2016, subsequently sworn into office as President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and then another one that took everybody by surprise. Since then, well, the minority in parliament have taken, you know, a big hit, so to speak, currently. And you look at the numbers, and they just don't have the numbers in parliament. That has also affected the governance a lot, based on what the governance people have been saying over the period. But look, Elikem Kotoko, you have to concede, even though you're a strong NDC advocate and member and leading figure, that concession speech by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I mean, was just a mark of statesmanship.
I will agree it's a mark of statesmanship, but it's nothing new. And the point is that which tension was there? We've held elections before. There were higher tensions than even these. I mean, you can look at 2016.
In 2024?
You can, yeah. So let us not make it, look, let us state it as a fact. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia led the MPP, or misled the MPP to an embarrassing defeat. It was obvious from the word go, but he was living in the, pardon my language, but in a fool's paradise, where he was always making joke of almost everything. You recall, I want to promise pastors I was going to pay them later. I was just joking. I mean, are you a clown? Why are you sharing? Why jokes with our reverend fathers? Why joke with the clergy? And he had a couple of very young, arrogant guys around him, who I saw only to be misinforming in order to stage further relevance around him. And till date,
you're a young person.
Yes.
So how could you?
That is the reason why I speak of these things with so much passion. I'm not sure that if I am around President Mahama as we are, I would see something wrong and not be able to want to tell someone to correct it. But with Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, it seems virtually impossible that they never found anything wrong with whatever he did. Whether he was dancing offbeat and doing his own, everything he did was just so wrong. But it seems nobody could tell him. And so if you're living such kind of life, it meant that there was no way anybody could correct you. And so it was going, look, there was no tension anywhere. There was nothing new with what he did. He had absolutely no choice. He lost embarrassingly and disrespected President Mahama throughout the electoral process. And we all know this. And so it's splash in his face. But I am happy that a year on, we are seeing what we voted for. And the last part of it was an interview I saw of President Kufuor, I think 2 days ago, who also I found it to be that he demonstrated in that interview that he, President Kufuor, also failed the integrity test very woefully, because in that interview he mentioned that after COVID, he never knew whatever was going on. You didn't know what was going on, but you were mounting platforms campaigning again for Ghanaians.
No, but what do you expect? That's his party.
Well, then that is dishonesty. That means the party comes first before nation. And that is why we need to really look at these things. So he is placing his party interest before the country. And so that is the highest form of dishonesty. And I think he failed the integrity test as a statesman.
He should have gone into statesman drive.
Even there were times he made it clear that he was not consulted in this, he was not consulted in that. And it meant you were not involved. You were not even needed. They didn't need you. And an adult, a statesman of your caliber, you think you were needed only when you need to mount a platform to tell them that, dear me who say Akufo-Addo ne Bawumia so far no let's retain them. Retain them to do what? And so, unfortunately, he is also a part of the 38% they got, because he contributed to wanting to say a word for them, which was very sad. When I saw that interview yesterday, I felt very embarrassed that at best, he should not have even said those things at all, because he was indicting himself. He really was indicting himself in that interview, because he failed the integrity test. If he knew what President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia were doing was just, it was something he couldn't make head or tail of. Yet, you were mounting platforms again, saying, Ghanaians, please vote for this bunch of... So
what were you expecting? That he should tell Ghanaian voters not to vote for his party?
But there were other Ghanaians, there were other people within President Akufo's government who never spoke a word. Was it compulsory? Was it mandatory? So they were just using you, and you allowed yourself to be a tool, because you could have said no, and nobody will hold you to ransom. There was a time, if my memory serves me right, was it the inauguration or so, they didn't want to allow him, of President Mahama, they didn't want to allow him to go and all of that. You are a statesman. You have the right to say yes to anything and no to the other. So I was very embarrassed when I saw that. I felt so sad when I saw that as well too. And well, it is what it is. But largely, Ghana is on the right course. And I believe that in the space of the next 2-3 years, Ghanaians will see more of what they voted for.
Well, Dr. Kweku Boahen has also joined us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you? Where's Kennedy now? That's Get Connected.
Yesterday we were in KEA and then Cape Coast.
Commander
today we continue within the central region.
All right. So he's in Central?
Yeah, we're in Central.
Welcome. And thank you for passing through the studios this morning.
For a moment, I thought this was the Central Regional Minister.
Because the way he was tapping him. But lawyer Apia Dankwa, there's a conversation that I thought we should also posit this discussion on narrative on, which was that what were the premises on which all the parties, as well as the key individuals within the political space, were contesting on or came into the 2024 election with. Knowing what had happened in 2020, there were killings, there had been a Shraj petition, I suppose had been investigated, so to speak, led by Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, now the foreign minister at the time. There had been concerns about of course, led by Imani as well as others. Subsequently, you also came in with Alan Chermatin saying that due recognition to be able to participate in that election also wasn't getting the needed cooperation from the Electoral Commission. And so we had the government on one hand being criticized, the economy was a problem, governance in itself, issues of corruption, and more so, the Electoral Commission as the ombudsman, the middleman, the organizer, the independent body as well, receiving or at the end of that criticism. And then generally, you take a look at all the issues about whether we had the buy-in of the population going into that election within the narrative of the campaigning itself. the criticism on both sides, etc. What do you think were the lessons for 2024 and going to that election, what they were?
Okay, so I don't know, wish your lovely viewers a good morning. Wish yourself a good morning. My honorable deputy CEO, good morning, and my MPP rep here, good morning, and Dr. Kutubahin, good morning. But you are MPP rep. Don't deny. And I think I need to also. I think we have all forgot, but today happens to be the birthday of, in my opinion, the best president of this Fourth Republic, President John Ajay Kufuor.
Today's his birthday. Oh, happy birthday to you, former President John Ajay Kufuor as well.
I want to wish him a very good birthday. I mean, God bless him for what he did for Ghana. If I understand your question rightly, you want us to put into context the problems the country was bedeviled with. That's as a motivation.
And then on the governance front also, the lessons from 2024 and the fears that were in the minds of all of you as you entered the 2024 elections.
So going to the 2024 elections, in my personal opinion, our politics had lost credibility. Because when you read the 1992 Constitution, the people of Ghana set an agenda for ourselves. And we categorized the agenda under a political agenda, under an economic agenda, under a social agenda, under a cultural agenda, under an educational agenda. Now, when you take all of these agendas we set for ourselves, when you consider the focus of those agendas, as of 2024, we were failing radically as a nation. Politically, you had a situation where, contrary to the agenda of this country, where the agenda was that we create a country or we create a people, a citizenship that was very patriotic in their outlook. We create a situation where, in spite of the fact that Ghana was an amalgamation of a number of nations and different cultures, we were able to, as we are able to aggregate and strengthen that one Ghana polity. We had a situation where we were being disintegrated on very tribal lines, and we were being disintegrated because the MPP and in how they handled their internal primaries and how they were handling their campaign advanced a campaign that was very tribal in nature, that was very religious in nature, that's attacking that political agenda that sought to unite the people of Ghana in spite of our tribal diversity. Also, politically, you had a situation where the institutions we had created to hold together this constitutional democracy were under attack. And the case in point is the EC. There's a situation where the president of the country appointed people who were perceived to have partisan coloring onto the EC. That's putting the EC in an impossible situation. What was that situation? It became practically impossible for the EC to deliver an election which will not only be free and fair, but which would be perceived to be free and fair. We found ourselves in that situation. We found ourselves in a situation where the people of Ghana, and for the first time, felt that they wouldn't mind us returning back to a coup d'etat or a military administration. And the case in point is the report of the Afrobarometer report, some few months to the election. We also found ourselves economically in a situation where the economy had lost all credibility. We were practically in a junk situation. The economy was in a junk situation. The case in point, we had the DDP, which took monies out of the pockets of the citizens of this country. We had the CD nosedive. And you had a situation where the people of Ghana had practically lost hope in the ability of this economy to fulfill their economic ambitions. The hope was lost. In terms of the energy, you had a situation where doomsday was looming. Rather than heading into the election, or in fact, even after elections, we had the MPP telling us that the government didn't even have enough war, or we were going to face doomsday come January. That was the situation we found ourselves in. And for me, one of the gravest situations we found ourselves in, and that problem has not been solved, is the Galamsey menace. We had a situation where the trustee, person who the Constitution created as a trust over the mineral resources of this country, was implicit in an attack on our ecology, in our ecosystem, and he sat down and did nothing. You understand? Also, you had a situation where one of the principles that underpinned our Constitution, the principle of probity and accountability, had been thrown into the dustbin. The president came, and one of the things he promised was that he was going to protect the public purse. And yet, we were inundated with issues of the president looking on for the people that who took an oath to be faithful to Ghana, dipped their hands recklessly into the public purse, and the president did nothing. And so, essentially, heading into the 2024 election, we were faced with a country that was practically in coma.
In coma?
Yes, we were faced with a country that was practically in coma. Our politicians had lost all credibility. The people of Ghana didn't trust the politicians again. We didn't trust our politics. Economy was in coma. You understand? And every fiber of the system we've created was under attack. And that's why, for us in now the United Party, then in the Movement of Change, we called for a transformation, for a radical change. It wasn't just a change. We called for a transformation. You understand? I think the results of the election, the emphatic nature of the signal granted by the people of Ghana in 2024 lay credence to all the problems that we were bedeviled with. And like Elikem here said, we are not where we are, but at least the signs, the clear signs are there in terms of the huge strides that has been made without the government doing much. But we've seen a huge stride. One, right now we have leadership. For 8 years, we were like a people without a leader. We were like a chicken without a head. Now we have a leader, in my humble opinion. Now, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Mawia said that if you are confused about the state of the economy, just look at the exchange rate. The exchange rate is now around 11.37. But if you place it into context where the exchange rate was on 7 December, hovering somewhere around 15, 16, you understand, then clearly you can see the huge strides that has been made. Now you come to the state of the economy. The aspect agenda in our constitution, which says that the economic agenda of the country is to create the right enabling the right economic environment so the private sector will lead in the economy. Right now you have a situation where the cost of doing business in this country has reduced drastically. And a typical example is the cost of credit now. You understand? Interest rate is radically down. Inflation is low. You understand? And we are not where we want to be. But clearly the cost of doing business in this country is lower. There's certainly a renewed confidence in the economy. And that can be seen in our ratings. Right now, I think, is it Fitch? Fitch rated our economy as at B. Yes, I don't hear the noise coming around isn't one that attacks our tribal issues, except within the NPP, within their primaries. You understand? But
I don't understand.
You don't hear noise that seeks to attack the tribal peace we are enjoying, except when you look into the NPP. Then you hear those tribal dirty noises. You understand? Yeah, tribal dirty noises.
Oh.
Yes. Over the weekend.
Aren't you being too harsh?
No. You see,
Can you explain further? I don't understand.
You see, when you talk about issues.
When you say narrative, what do you mean? Because the primary is premised on the fact that one candidate says I'm better than the other, and there are five of them.
Beyond the sense. Over the weekend, did you hear about the Kusasi issue? About a supporter of one of the candidates going on and on and on about Kusasis.
Okay.
Yeah. I beg you.
Oh.
Yeah, because
What has this
but
got to do with
but you
taking
see,
stock in an election?
but I beg you. I beg you. You see, we see because of the nature of the country we've created, because it's an amalgamation of different states, different countries, then issues that will divide us, issues that borders on tribalism, must be frowned on. It should not be allowed.
It should be nipped in the bud.
Exactly. And where you have a major political party, you understand, whose premise for who they decide to become their presidential candidate is on the basis of the tribe. Did you not hear the issue with the MP for Asante Achem South, where he went on a tirade against His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia by reason of his tribe? You see, you can be against the candidature of Mahmoud Bawumia, but under no circumstance should you bring where he's from into the picture. And he, Mahmoud Bawumia himself, does the tribal thing also, and the religious thing. And that's what I'm saying, that right now in Ghana, you don't hear the dirty tribal noises, except when you look into the house of the New Patriotic Party. That's where you hear the tribalism.
But if you watch the interview that the former president had with Delay, he said that he came into office and then brought everybody together, and even mentioned individuals who played key roles in his government who were not of his stock, of his party stock, so to speak. So very later on MPP thing, maybe it's a degenerated.
No, I've said it here so many times that the MPP after 2009 became a house that's filled with familiar spirits. I said that the MPP from 1992 to 2009, the MPP we all loved. The MPP that at that point was largely the party of choice. You understand? But we all sat down, all of us, myself included. We sat down and allowed one man to suck all the good spirit from the party and introduced familiar spirit into the party. And so whereas you had President.
Which of the Bible quotations are you taking?
It's not Bible quotation. We sat down. I think I was a cause. We didn't have the courage at that time to stand up. Probably you were also a cause. Dr. Tuba, were you in MVP at that time?
Please make your comment.
We all sat down. One man.
Please make your comment. Don't make divisive comments.
I'm not making. I'm saying we all sat down. We all sat down and allowed one man.
About is talking division and he's putting everybody.
You see, we allowed one man to alter the DNA, the character of the party, into one that is very tribal now, one that is very divisive now. And I'm saying that the only place where you see the dirty tribal noise now is in the MPP house, a house that is full with familiar spirit. But they are not my focus now. My focus is in the strides that are being taken, led obviously by His Excellency John Mahama, to right a lot of the wrongs. And that includes creating a Ghana where you are from. You understand? Does not really matter. And really, it shouldn't matter where you are from. Because we want to create a country where all of our ambitions can find a place in. So for me, we are certainly not where we want to be. In fact, I think that what we need right now is a radical transformation, not just in the economy, a radical transformation in how politics is done. That right now we need a country where the reason why we do politics is because of the state. You understand? And we do politics so that the well-being of our individual citizens can be met. We are not there yet, but at least a reset is happening. We've being aroused from the pit we found ourselves in. Right now, we are no longer in coma. You understand? And I want to make the call I made sometime today, last year, that if there's an agenda now, there's for all of us as Ghanaians to come together, support the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Let us build a country that we'll all be proud of. Let's build a country that can rise up again to become the Black Star of Ghana. And don't let us, the Black Star of Africa, and don't let us be divided by reason of our tribes. Don't let us be divided by reason of our partisan coloring. Yes, and let us forge ahead and reclaim our place.
Dr. Tutubuai, again on the same tangent, do you think we're well off in terms of the lessons that we could learn, and how does that feed into governance and indicators to measure as to whether we're doing well, we've done well over the last, is it 12 months? 12 months.
All right, so Papa, good morning to my colleagues and to your good self and to our viewers. I just want to take 1 minute of my time to also say a very big thank you to the Dabone family of Rama Hinkro, Ata Dabone Jr. and Ata Dabone Senior. I was with them on their the performance of their funeral of their mother, their late mother. And I think that they've done very good. They've done very well, to give their mother a befitting burial. And we say that the Lord be with them, and may He continue to console them. Papa Roland, I think that over the past 1 year or 12 months, what we are seeing as Ghanaians and the testimonies we are receiving, on the streets from the markets, is an indication that the economy, our economy is actually doing well. And, when you look at the performance of the current government, basically, you will see two strands of debates, which hinges on critiques and defenses. But by way of comparison, you could see clearly that these debates obviously is centered around what this current government is doing and what was done in the previous government. But that is politics. And at the end of the day, that is what Ghanaians voted for: good governance, a type of government that would come and that would ensure that people are free in terms of security, people have decent lives in terms of the monies in their pocket, ability to purchase, and to live a decent life. Now, when you check some of the things that this government has done as an initial, action, to better the lives of people, the government is actually receiving praises. Yesterday I was in the market with my wife.
You went to the market with your wife?
With my wife.
You don't trust your wife to go to the market
alone?
alone?
No, it's a sign of good, to show love.
Okay.
And also to show that, you care about everything that she does.
So that's the angle with you are taking.
Exactly. You need to drive her there, go at least to show that you care for the family. You understand? Yeah. So I was there with her, and obviously I have seen a drastic change
in the prices.
In the prices of goods and services.
Which market did you go to?
In fact, we were at two centers. Okay. The Abobulushi market, and then the CMB area. Yeah.
Okay. You went to the source.
Oh yes, just to see what is actually happening. Now, you see, in terms of the economy and taxes, this government actually came and decided to abolish certain taxes. And in fact, these were some of the things that the youth of Ghana actually loved. The e-levy, the betting tax, right? So it was taken off. Again, we have seen inflation reducing, to a level below 7%, and which I believe that it is also reflecting in the prices of goods and services, in this country. As lawyers said, interest rates, interest on borrowing has come down. And we've also seen that transport fares, to some extent, except some stubborn, drivers, transport fares in general is also reduced. We have seen some increase in our foreign reserves, right? And we have also seen that foreign reserves, has actually increased from 6.8 billion to about 11 billion, dollars. GDP, 2023, it used to be 2.9. 2024 was around 5.7. And we've also seen, that for the first half of this year, GDP, moved to about 6.3%. And so it shows, these are the indicators that are showing that the economy is actually, doing well. It is showing signs of positivity.
There's something I want us to assess, which is the way the election was organized and monitored, providing security, because there was a lot of chaos in many areas. Indeed, up to today, we're still feeling the effects. Just over the last 2 weeks, we've been discussing the Pandai, and subsequently there was Henry Cortes constituency, for example. There were a number of incidents as well. And there was an overflow from 2020, a number of incidents, etc. So in your own assessment, how would you say perhaps we can take lessons from maybe over the last 2 elections, especially from the last election?
So you see, the whole thing has to do with the political structure.
Dom Kwabenya, for example.
Yes, the political structure that we built or that we intend to build. And we always must learn from, past experiences and all that. And you see, when we keep making the same mistakes over and over again, then of course it means that the nation is actually not learning. You remember what led to the transparent boxes? All right, okay. Now we've got into this crossroad where we have seen that even pink sheets can be destroyed. All right. So the question now is, what do we have to do right to ensure that when even people touch the physical pink sheets, can it call for a by-election, a re-election or something? Or we still will have the data intact without anybody touching it. Okay. And we know technology has gotten to that level where we can deploy technology to the extent that, at a point where elections are being collated or ballots are being counted, within that same period, we will have a software that can actually, transmit our data straight into our database or the electoral database, which cannot have any challenge whatsoever. All right. So this is what we should begin to think about. All right. Then again, the integrity of the entire EC body machinery. We need to ensure that yes, the people that we put in there, over the years we've seen president come, and then when they are going, they go with their entire EC machinery. And I feel that the EC should not be partisan. And so why can't we again come up with a policy whereby those powers that belongs to the president to elect EC, and probably other people will frown on those actions. Why can't we deal with it? And so for me, I am thinking that, you see, if we want to have decency, if we want to have trust in our political space, I feel that the EC should be independent without any interference. Issues regarding security, should also be taken into serious consideration. We have seen over the years that you get to see at a point that even during elections, we don't have this, how do you call it, national security being on top. But in most cases, you see party security, being on top and having that power to even control, the police, the military, and all that. I think that politics is becoming excessive. It is becoming excessively strong. And if you are not careful, when it gets to that level, we will continue to experience all these things, and it will not really augur well for this country. So I feel strongly that, look, if you want to build a kind of election structure that can actually live the test of time and also ensure that people have trust and confidence in our electoral process, this is the direction we should go.
Okay. Dr. Kwekuboy, yes, and since then, a lot of things have been going on. The MPP has been trying to restructure. Of course, some sections of the party believe it has to be not the current status quo, it has to be from bottom up, etc. But you find that things are going well with the party in the perspective that the party leadership wants it as well. But if there are lessons from the last election, what would they be?
Thank you. Let me say good morning to Euro and then my co-panelist, and then to the good people of Amasaman, and then also to the central region where we find ourselves this week.
Is that where Kenny Japan is storing now?
Where Kenny Japan is storing at the moment. Today he'll be in the Cape Coast South, he'll be in the Kumfi, and then
Cape Coast South, the Kumfi,
and then what's the name? Abura Asebu, Kwamankesi.
Oh, okay.
Yes, today. Good. It's been a year where we're taking stock on whatever that has happened in the 2024 elections, where the transition that brought in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, which on a couple of occasions I've said that I think that it is too early for me to even go into an issue of critiquing his governance, because he's just started. He has a 4-year mandate, and then so
that's from you.
Yes, from me.
That's at variance to what your compatriots say.
That is my entitlement. I feel that if somebody has been voted into office for 4 years and he just assumed office, give him that time. That is, listen, this is the Ghana we have. This is the only Ghana we have. And so if NDC comes in and MPP comes in, we expect that the government of the day performs and then make sure that we mitigate the troubles or the issues befalling Ghanaians. So we would give him all the support he needs to be up there to ensure that Ghana is better off. Because I pray for a day, a beautiful day when Ghana would see things working, institutions working. We should have robust institutions that will not sit here and be talking about the Electoral Commission and then people that we think that were siding with one political party, but then will be independent enough to look at the electoral fortunes of Ghana in a manner that is required of everybody. Okay? I think that, yes, in the 2024 elections, there were the ups and downs here with security concerns and some of those challenges that we faced as a country. For us, we follow a particular trend, and then we feel that for, like you said, the MPP, for instance, brought in a candidate that I know Dr. Tutuwai will not be so comfortable with what I'm saying, but then I'm going to say it anyway.
Are you also bringing division?
No, not division. I feel,
why are you mentioning?
I feel that
when you mention NPP candidate,
the NPP fielded the wrong candidate in the first place.
That's your opinion.
That is my opinion. That is why I'm saying that I know he's not going to be comfortable with it, but I see it anyway. No, they are not too. No, I have heard his.
Please don't listen to
I
want to hear.
Please go ahead.
I have heard a couple of interviews, and then that is why I put it in that context. And even here on this platform, he said it a couple of times that it is not that he is NPP, but then he loves the way the former vice president has carried himself about. Yes, he said it. So that is why I put it in that context.
Who said that?
Oh, Jaisa.
Who said that? AKA familiar spirits.
No, familiar spirit.
And
so sometimes I feel that if it had gone the other way, MPP would have done better in the last elections than presenting the former vice president. That is my candid opinion anyway. And then, as it stands now, there's a party that needs rebranding. It needs to up its game. You see, in the past, I'll be blunt, there were a lot of the youth that found themselves in MPP because they trusted their ideologies, they trusted the MPP principles, and then that we were going to create jobs. We were there for the youth of the country and all that. But today, in the last election, Elikem would bear with me that there were a lot of the youth that went into NDC's campaign. They were out there campaigning, doing everything for President John Dramani Mahama to become the president of Ghana. So, therefore, it means that NPP would have to sit up, rebrand the party entirely. In fact, get a new face.
Is this your opinion, or is it an opinion? Is it an opinion that Ken also holds?
That is why.
Or we're doing analysis.
That is why Ken Japan has offered himself up for elections, because if he doesn't think that we should have a new face, he doesn't think that the party should be rebranded, we should have a new leadership, he wouldn't have even offered himself to be elected in the first place. Okay. Then he would have just followed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and say let's go and then give him back to people, the people of Ghana, who per my good friend Musa Dankwa's report, Global Info Analytics comes out to say that when he interviewed the voters who are not, for want of a better word, I'm trying to, independent voters in Ghana, he thinks that people are saying that Kennedy Japan will do better as the candidate of the party than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Let me put that one aside. I think that with last year's election and then how far we have come, NDC government, they started well. They came out with a budget that I think that looks good. We pray and hope that we will look at the economic development of Ghana very carefully and then stringently, making sure that the unemployed youth out there are getting jobs. They came at the backdrop of campaigning with a 24-hour economy thing, and then the mantra that 3 shifts will be run, people will work. And so we want to see the president and making sure that these things happen. So
you
that
mean manifestation of the 24-hour economic policy.
So that
it's happening at GPHA, TDC, DVLA.
The enthusiasm, the expectations that it should be rolled out so that people will get jobs to do. There's massive out there. If you look at these young guys, young ladies that found themselves killed per this stampede at the LWAC and all that.
During the recruitment process.
Condolences to their families. It is all because of jobs that they were going to look for. And then all these things happen. And then the poverty situation in Ghana. Listen, whether we like it or yes, the rich is becoming richer and the poor is becoming poorer. And so those sort of economic things the presidency of the day should be looking at. And then the mother of all, galamsey. I pray the government is able to fight it. Now that we're making a lot of money coming from gold and all that, sometimes I sit back, he was talking about Fitch, rating Ghana B plus or B minus. And then we asked, are we B?
B.
What is it B minus, B and B minus?
Yeah. And then Paul is B minus.
And then you ask yourselves, why did they rate us in that category? Because there's a surge in gold that we are selling out there, and then we're making a lot of forex coming in, almost about 4 billion US dollars coming in forex and all that. So it makes us be in good standing. The next question I ask myself is government going to be able to fight that which is bringing in money?
I don't understand.
I'm not saying they are doing galamsey.
So what are you saying?
But then,
are you saying
what I'm saying is
the bulk of the exports are from galamsey beans? More is that what you're insinuating?
What I'm saying is a bulk of what we are selling out there that is bringing us money is gold, not cocoa. Okay, yes, because we are underproducing.
It's a combination of the two.
It's a combination of the two, Dr. Boyne. It's a combination of the two. But gold is bringing in more.
You have a minute to wrap up.
It is basically the good prices of commodities on the markets.
Okay.
All right. And basically this year we've seen the prices of cocoa and gold on the world market.
International.
That's it. So world market pricing of gold is up there now. The question is, gold that sold at 50-something thousand in 2024 is now being sold at $129,000. Are we able?
You know the prices well.
I monitor the world market price.
Thank you very much.
So, would we be able to fight today?
You know, I recall in my very opening statement what I did emphasize.
3 minutes on this
was that President Mahama is not in a rush. He is not in a rush because he knows very well Ghanaians voted him to execute his mandate within a 4-year period, and he is not in a haste to do things that he knows that he has to execute them between when he was sworn in to when he will leave office. So when you talk about the 24-hour economy, for instance, and I mean, I get even surprised when people raise some of these concerns because I'm not sure that you expect that everything contained in the manifesto is rolled out within the first day, the first week, the first month, or the first year. As we speak now, even the 24-hour economy is being rolled out little by little in order to ensure, like how the previous
in your own mantra, progressively.
Yes, perfect. And you see, in order to ensure that, like what we witnessed in 2017, where without sitting down to consult and proper thinking, we just rolled out the free SHRs and it was bedeviled with so many. As we speak today, Roland, I don't want to mention the schools. Go to many of our senior high schools and see. They have not seen paint in 8 years. They have not seen maintenance in 8 years. They have not even seen their beds or frames. Look, it's a disaster. You go to any most senior high schools today, try to even visit their washrooms as a parent. You will cry. And when you have a ward or a child who is even schooling in one of those institutions, you ask yourself, what damage did we do? So there's been a lot of destruction. We are still treating the cancer that we suffered from 2017 to 2024. And that is the reason why President Mahama is deliberate and calculated in his measures and ensuring that whatever agenda he intends to roll out in the reset agenda is done progressively and steadily to make sure we don't stumble and fall. Mind you, Ghanaians will not ask him why he fall if he does so, and he will not. So you want to be very careful to do so. I mean, Roland just gave you some examples of GPHA, DVLA, and other institutions that already have it need TDC need to intensify it. If we are having the police doing that, we need to increase that.
His position is that there was a lot of enthusiasm
yes,
that greeted the policy announcements. And then when it was being regurgitated as a refrain on the campaign platforms, and so the expectation is high.
I agree, Roland.
So he's saying that
I
he's
agree.
only asking the questions based on
No,
expectations.
I agree with him, and I'm sure.
So that if we know that it's
it's
going to be gradually rolled out, we communicate that.
Oh yeah, but
so that he doesn't come to ask me. But you said that
nowhere was it stated that within the first year there will be a 24-hour economy from the first year. But even within the first year, we have started rolling it out.
Okay.
That is just my point. And you see, so we need to make that very clear. So it doesn't look as though you're not. Look, I am convinced, just as I know majority out there watching us, that President Mahama is on course. Like I stated, are we where we want to be? No. But are we where we were? No. Are we on course? Yes.
Yeah, so I think, I need to say that one of the fundamental reasons why we voted out the MPP and voted His Excellency John Mahama into power, His Excellency John Mahama, was so that he would affirm the principle of probity and accountability. Now, there are so many stories, you understand? SML, what's it called? Because Bamian himself said that he became president and Amanfonyo Mohotam. Yes,
yeah.
So he became president. He worked hard to become vice president. BP won, and Ken got money tam. Hanan got money tam. What's it called? Signal Bureau got money tam. NSS got money tam. Now, right now, on the time,
got money tam.
Ken, he said Ken got money tam.
The one who sponsored is the campaign in 2016.
Right. You have 2 more minutes.
Tell him to keep quiet. He said he did a campaign wall, the World Power, and Ken got money tam. NSS got money tam. Signal Bureaus got money tam. Now, we are being told that some of the money tams were gotten in a very wrong manner. We are asking His Excellency John Mahama that one of the reasons why we voted for him was so that he will uphold the principle of probity and accountability. Politicians should not believe that when they come into power, they can take our monies and go scot-free.
You mean chop the money free?
He must deal with them. They must be dealt with emphatically. That's one issue. Galamsey. Personally, my biggest issue is Galamsey. Because we are talking about an activity that attacks our ecology, that attacks the basis for he's doing well.
You're not okay with the plan?
Oh, no. It's not about the plan.
Or the gains?
It's not about the plan. We need results. You understand? Clearly, if there's one fundamental difference between Mahama and Nanado, is the commitment, the clear commitment and clear understanding of what really the problem is. Because if you listen to him, he's not just talking about stopping Galamsey, but also steps that would correct the evils. So dechemisation, what's called replanting, and you understand. But you see, at the end of the day, what we are looking for is the resource in the what's called that Galamsey issue. Now, on the matter of the 24-hour economy, I held a very strong view that 24-hour cannot be a policy. It's a natural consequence of different policies that people. Because when you define what an economy is a state of a nation in terms of production, consumption of goods and services, and the supply of energy. So when you say you are going to do a 24-hour economy, then what you are saying is you are going to put in place policies that will ensure that production goes on 24 hours, you're able to consume 24 hours, and you use your fiscal and monetary policy in a 24-hour manner to create the right enabling environment. So for me, I think all what you are mentioning, so the what's called the TDC and all those things, they are all clearly, it's easy for government to tell TDC, do 24 hours. But you see, we really see how effective government policy has been in ensuring production happens 24 hours, where you clearly see private sector, in the private sector field, that the policies are there, and the demand is there, where then companies ought to be producing 24 hours and we can consume 24 hours. And as I mentioned, the reduction in the cost of doing business. I think government has done well, but they need to do more. They need to do more to ensure that the demand is there. They need to ensure that monies are in our pocket.
Okay.
And that's why the erasure of the COVID-19 levy, which put 5.7 billion into our pockets, is a step in the right direction. Government ought to do more to ensure that we have more money to spend. And once we are spending, then people who are producing will produce more. The 24-hour economy will happen for all of us to smile.
All right. Let me start with you. Benin, there was an attempted coup. Is West Africa becoming the hub that everybody says it is? Instability, etc.
Something he mentioned earlier.
Okay, okay.
About this, the Kusasi issue.
My time is up, so that's why.
I had wanted
the
to
Kusasi issue was earlier, so
right.
I didn't think that you want to harp on it. You want to correct something?
Yes, I want to correct something.
A misconception is put out there.
A misconception you put out there that we are engaging in tribal, whatever.
Politicking.
But then,
who?
Oh,
are you
no.
He said we. He's here.
I have told you.
He says we.
He's trying to lay the MPP people.
No,
but he's not here.
I'm referring to people who trust in the ideologies of Kenny Japan. Okay.
So are you here representing Ken?
I said I trust in his ideologies. I didn't say and then you mentioned that Natoshi was out there talking about Kusasis, and then that is an engagement in tribal whatever. Yeah. But then that is why I want you to understand that she was not doing tribal politicking. She was just saying,
just saying what?
Telling the delegates of MPP that, listen, you can't walk into an election with a candidate who presumptively has already lost.
I think Monday we should do MPP private.
Answer the question. Answer the ECOWAS issue.
Allow him to.
He's using his time for that.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
No. Don't mind him. Go to the.
That's why you like that.
Go to the ECOWAS issue.
Please, let's have some time.
Conclude
on that. So you're saying Natoshi was doing what? Because the video is trending on TikTok.
I know. But then what she said is that let us not go into an election with a candidate that a section of Ghanaians say we will you stop this?
No, please.
I am
no, Kweku, you don't get bothered. So we shouldn't go into an
election with a candidate who a section of Ghanaians say, if you bring this person, we are not voting for you.
Based on the performance in the last election.
Based on the performance in the last election, and as well as their internal issues out there. Okay, that is why she said that.
ECOWAS is waiting.
Okay, let's go.
Our time is up. You have 2 minutes on ECOWAS, please.
After all this, he still has 2 minutes.
Why are you helping? Listen, this is becoming one too many of these coup d'etats within the ECOWAS bloc. I think it's high time some of these precedents, whatever that is causing, and then if you realize, it looks like it's happening mostly in Francophone countries.
West Africa.
Yes, Francophone West Africa. That is where a lot of these things are happening. Yesterday was Niger, was Mali, was Burkina, now Benin. And so you tend to wonder what is actually wrong with their systems that is bringing up all these things. And then if you listen to the speeches of all these, the Niger and then Mali and then Burkina, you would find out that all of them that took over power, one way or the other, had the French in mind. That, listen, we want to do away with the French control, and then so that we will become a sovereign people who trust and believe in our own ideologies. Then I asked myself, what is it that has been happening within their economies in the past that have brought people to where we are today? We need to talk about some of those things. And then I read that the Benin Parliament has ratified a new term for presidency, where instead of 5 years, now it's supposed to be 7 years, and then all that. And then this, I tell you, is a catalyst. The reason why some of these
they've
things,
extended the term.
And then because they extended it, somebody who feels that, you've not really done anything better for us, and then you still want to go and extend the term. And then tomorrow, maybe Prince Talon will tell us that he wants to recontest an election again. This thing, we must do away with this.
Okay.
In body politicking in Africa
Thank
as
you.
a whole.
Okay. My time is up. So just 2 minutes on the subject. Unfortunately, it took time to look at Kusasi and Atosh.
Yes. But you see, the Kusasi thing, you shouldn't mention it. I am of the strong opinion that no. I just want him to get him a reason why you shouldn't even go to the Kusasi issue. Because obviously the statistics that now Toshi was building her argument doesn't really exist. So please, no, don't go there. My issue on the ECOWAS thing is that, yes, you see, ECOWAS, for me, need to take up, the authority that they have, in West Africa. Now, when you look at the charter of ECOWAS, they are supposed to be providing security, preventing unnecessary coups, and to probably ensure good governance within the sub-region. But we have seen over the years that any time that a sitting president wants to go around a constitution to his or her favor, it happened in Cote d'Ivoire, it happened in
civilian coup d'etat.
Exactly, civilian coup d'etat. ECOWAS sit down on concern, and like the dynamics in Benin, as portrayed by Dr. Kweku, indicate obviously that, look, you are trying to extend your mandate, which for us shouldn't happen. So if it is against the will of the people, and the people are crying, that is where the military sometimes would also come in. Yes. But I hear that probably, whether official or non-official, Nigeria has put in an intervention and that the coup wasn't successful after all. Now, must it take the strength of Nigeria, to get this thing done? Or the entire ECOWAS community to have a standby force that can deal with some of these things? Issues about sanctions. Does ECOWAS have the strength, to be able to, sanction some of these, governments or military, juntas that overthrow civilian governments? All right, we have seen that when U.S., decides that we are not going to support your government, obviously you are in trouble because of the strength and size of the U.S. and its economy. ECOWAS, how have we built our economy to the extent that we can say that Benin has gone contrary to, the charter of ECOWAS, and therefore we are going to sanction Benin, all right? Or we are going to sanction, Burkina Faso. And Burkina Faso will feel it to the point that any military person who is even planning a coup d'etat will say that no, because of the strength of ECOWAS and the sanctions that probably my people will suffer, I'm not going to carry out coup d'etat. If ECOWAS is not able to do some of these things and to build that kind of respect and strength, obviously no one will take ECOWAS seriously.
2 minutes on this. Instability,
I think it's become clear that it is not only being served as instant coffee, but it is also a sign that most of our leaders are failing the people. And the military is the only, I consider the military to be the most disciplined institution every nation has. And so when matters get to that point where they have to step in, then you would agree with me, it means things have gotten out of hand. I hold the view that, for instance, when governments or leaders in Africa are taking some decisions, especially in connection to their constitutions, especially in reference to their tenure, the incumbent should not be a beneficiary of that, and that brings some lasting peace. Yeah. I mean, if you go to Liberia, they hold their first elections, and if you win it 6 years, your second term is 4 years. They've agreed, and they are okay with that. And so I am not surprised. I have also held the view, it is not in support of coup d'etats, but it's been out of Western education that democracy, which has been put on us, a Western style is what we must all embrace, and that is what we embrace. I hold the view that Africa must redefine its own democracy and embrace that democracy per our culture, our heritage, our tradition, and our settings. The Western cultural democracy has not really worked for us. It is also one of the reasons why the coups are very instant in Africa. Because in Africa, our thinking, our mentality, our upbringing is completely different. And you see, when you take the people for granted for too long, it gets to a time when they feel, look, imagine that I am a military person and you are in government, you are the leader. And in my backyard, I can see wrong things going on. Meanwhile, everybody knows I'm a general in the army, etc. And you are the president. And whatever the people are saying as civilians, you're not minding them. I may also feel entitled that, hey, let me save my people in my village. You get it. And now, even some of these coups are becoming bloodless. So it is no longer becoming this bloody coup where you will say it is just
They only become bloody if there's resistance.
If there's some resistance. And I mean, if I recall, I think the Burkina one was also very bloodless. And so you see how they are also advancing in the way they go about it. The only thing is that the tag on the coup is a negative thing. But it is more or less like just a takeover. It's because it's a military, yes, it's because the military that takes over.
And the Benin one is an isolated incident by way of the premise on which the coup happened. Because Benin has been one of the most stable recent democracies in the West African sector.
And that is why it is to tell you that anytime the people are taken too much for granted, they have that internal feeling to resist. And don't forget that the military man is also a citizen before wearing that uniform. So even though they are doing that in uniform, they are also citizens who seek the interest of their country.
But it has impacted.
But lastly, I am not for these standby forces at all, because that becomes another avenue for looting, dissipating public purse, and we have to be paying monies here and there. Each country has military. When the situations happen, Nigeria is a part of ECOWAS. Follow Nigeria to do what they have done, and that extinguishes the fire.
According to the report, Ghana too.
Yeah, we also did. Yeah, I'm told. Yes.
I'm even against that interference. It's against one of the fundamental.
The sovereignty as
a sovereignty. You understand? And it's
rights come in. Even if it is about sovereignty, but if it is about sovereignty, then there is no need for.
It's so fundamental. Because sovereignty is at the
very core
of international relations. At international relations. When Nigerians, when USA said they were going to invade America and Nigeria because of the regions, we all said that no, they can't do that unless Nigeria itself invites them. You understand? And coup d'etat legally, if it succeeds, it's legal. You understand? No, if it succeeds and it's legit, and then it has legitimacy.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm not sure we may not know if even the president called for that, because he was an elected.
No, actually he called for it.
So you see the sovereignty issue. Once you call in the charter states clearly.
But I see, for me, do we even have a democracy in Africa? Because what is democracy? Democracy is power by the people, and it should be for the people. You understand? What we call democracy is voting cracy. Voting crazy. You go and vote. That is voting crazy.
You mean that's what we're exhibiting in West Africa or Africa?
Yeah, because see, when actually the democracy starts, you see, when you read history, they claim that one of the biggest achievements of the first of the two great wars was to secure democracy. Democracy largely started in Europe around the same time democracy started in Africa. Why has African democracy largely failed? Because our democracy has not been for the people. Yeah, two, we go and vote. We don't have proper decentralization. So the government is not also by the people. Yeah, because we don't have a say in how we are governed. We don't have proper decentralization, fiscal decentralization. You understand? And we have also radically, because see, in Africa, because of how Africa was partitioned, our countries, our borders were forged on us by the Europeans. And that's why I'm very serious about this Kusasi issue. That's my brother here doesn't seem to understand. It's very critical. It's very critical. Tribalism. I beg you. Tribalism.
Don't go there.
Tribalism.
Why are you like this? Today you are being unnecessarily
listen, I beg you. Why? Tribalism alone has the danger to destroy our democracy. Tribalism. It's the biggest number.
Nobody is perpetuating
you are supposed to. Tribalism.
Stop.
Tribalism is the biggest danger to the safety of this our democracy. And Ghanaians should say a big no to anybody, to any party, to any individual, that perpetrates a democracy that's premised on tribalism.
Roland, you know, they just left us. They just left MPP. And then he's behaving as if...
You mean to say you guys are birds of the same feather?
I'm here representing UP. He said he's representing some CSO. What is MPP? What is this?
I don't know what is that. I know you are being unnecessarily...
Okay, gentlemen. So thank you. We have to wrap up our conversation, but not before we go to Dr. Dan Kipo, Research Fellow Lesia. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Kipo.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Everybody thought Benin, stable democracy in recent times. And so this one came as a shock or a surprise. And indeed, when the trend was increasing on social media, particularly on X, I went to, is it TV5? That would be, I don't know how to say it in French. The French channel, as well as Canal Plus, and subsequently you got to then find the confirmation there. And then we're told that it was an attempted coup. But Benin, that's surprising. So we're going by the accolade, West Africa is not safe, our democracy is unstable.
All right, thank you very much for this opportunity, and thanks to viewers and listeners. Certainly, democracy is at a crossroad in West Africa, but I do not think that democracy is all that down. We are just at a crossroad as a sub-region, West Africa, with a growing trend of insecurity. There are so many factors that account to these military takeovers. Key among the factors is the instability within the sub-region. The region is faced with a lot of extremists, violent extremism and act of terrorist group, militant groups who are threatening the sub-region to take over. And they have their own reason why they want to take over. Some of the countries are divided, extreme north, these extreme groups have taken over. The people, brutality, killings here and here. So there's that insecurity. And people feel that the democratic leaders, the presidents and their team of ministers are not doing enough to ensure their safety. And so that is why some of the Sahel, especially the Sahelian state, feel that they need a military rule where that security situation will be controlled and they will be well protected. Now, if that is the logic, you look at Mali, Niger, well, the military have taken over from Mali, but that instability, that periodic attacks is still ongoing. So it means that even military taking over is not even a panacea to the problems. So that is it. If you come to our own neighbor to the north, Burkina Faso, we have the military. Captain Toure and his men are in power, and maybe some stability has come in there, but not totally as the post-president era. So Benin, come to Benin, I wasn't expecting Benin with a very stable democracy to go on this unfortunate path. Benin is one of the very respectful democracy. Benin, Ghana, Senegal, they are very good democracies, maybe Nigeria as the fourth brother in that index. So Benin very, very, very stable, and the governance has been. But what is leading to this problem, possibly I will attribute it to maybe some of the actions of the incumbent president, Patrice Talon. Maybe some of his actions might have been a contributing factor. Take, for instance, you come to power, you have your tenure, and he decided to at least do something around it to give some years. So that could be one of the first factor where the people felt that, well, Matthew Kreku and others, they have come, they have used their period and left. Why do you want to add 1 or 2 years to your period? Because moving it from adding a year plus was something some people are dissatisfied, and that is one of the weakness of the current president. The second aspect of the president that might have put the democracy in danger was where he decided to at least attack the opposition, the main opposition, not having the field way to be able to participate and in this April election, and those kind of things. So that is part of the problem. So when Democrats come to power and they entered power through a fair playing ground, and they start putting impediment, blocking the ways, then that put democracy in danger. So these are the two actions that possibly might have been a key player on the military attempted coup. We need to respect the constitution that has given us power. Allow opposition to freely operate, because the beauty of democracy is that you have a vibrant opposition leader who will keep you on your feet. And that is what we need in West Africa.
Dr. Kipo, thank you for this incisive contribution so far. Subsequently, on other programming right on the channel today, we'll also call on you so that you contribute meaningfully. So thank you, gentlemen, for passing through the studio. And you wanted to make a point, but time is up. Otherwise,
those Benin
everybody
guys look like Delta Force guys. I mean, they were.
Oh, the video.
Yes, I mean, they were not serious at all.
They look like Delta.
They just look like the Delta Force from the MPP. And
Eric Ameto Kwame says that while I congratulate President Mahama, gentlemen, while I congratulate President Mahama and his government for their wonderful performance in office in the first year of the government, I'm not sure we can say same about the rollout and implementation of the 24-hour economy in their first year. The most important and most visible sector where the 24-hour economy could be manifest is the manufacturing sector. It is where the one job, three shifts policy could be best felt or most manifest. It is where import substitution could manifest, and it is where employment of our young people or youth could also manifest. So far, I've not seen this. Sorry, sir. Eric Ameto Kwame. Osei Boateng says, well, the issue about the campaign being staged in the MPP is a dicey one. The MPP has to look at this stronghold and send a strong message to them. And so that is the dilemma the MPP finds itself. It is largely a strong account-based party, and the base didn't vote for them. And so the messaging is being skewed to ensure that the base resonates. But if that is being taken and misconstrued as tribalism, that's also another issue. So we shouldn't go on that tangent. It is not for national politics. Okay, Felicia Abani says that Elikem is my favorite star on the show today, especially what he said about ECOWAS. And I have a couple more. Ebo Bakma, good morning to you. MPP is doing wonders. It has boycotted. And then, let me read the last one. Obrimpon Kaba. Dr. Baumia's concession was nothing special, not new. It is not as if he had a chance. To be a president is not a birthright. On the issue of the coup, I would like to advise our politicians to stop making civilian governance and politics unattractive. All right. I'm saying good morning to you. Philippine Godot, great lady. Thank you for everything. You're a great lady. Wishing you all the best alongside the family. Michael Asari as well. And then Delight Mojaka and the rest of the family. Wishing you all the best for the morning. If you want to look smart and fashionable, visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. Woodin offers amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, all ready to wear, coming in beautiful designs and colors for men and women. With Woodin, you get to be creative and versatile with your designs, and so get to be confident and show off how truly African you are in Woodin. So go to any Woodin boutique near you today, and then get to choose from their variety of trendy products to complement your unique style. On social media, go look out for them, search for Woodin Fashion, and you get to have their best offerings and product as well. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest sports headlines. Do stay with us.
panic, but if you're
Masquerades are scary, but bills shouldn't scare you. Be one of 10,000 lucky winners when you deposit multiples of 400 Ghana cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis to win up to 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes, 1-year insurance cover, and more. Tap into vibes in the EcoBank 5-Star Enjoyment Promo. Up to 15% discount when you use our cards and digital platforms. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or text asking you to verify sensitive information like your PIN, Ghana card, or bank card information. Pay better attention to details.
What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it the sunrise, the sound of your alarm, or is it that dream, that drive, that unstoppable force inside you? You can start your day strong with the rich, creamy taste of Nescafe Original 3-in-1, carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. You're on your own mission, and you won't stop until you succeed. Start strong, finish strong.
This advert is FDA approved.
Little body, big pose. Little explorer, big discovery. Your little one is eager to do big things. Cerelac brings you the new Cerelac Wheat and Maize, packed with the goodness of iron, vitamins and minerals found in fruits and vegetables. Just add milk to support their protein needs. New Cerelac Wheat and Maize. Enjoy your little one's big moment. This advert is FDA approved.
You're probably wondering how Ebo got here. Oh, Ebo. You see, Ebo is not a bad guy. He's got plans. Big plans. But there's just one small problem. His wallet didn't get the memo. So he decides to take a shortcut. That was a bad idea. And that's how he found himself sitting across area champion, the great Abu Kayoyo. Let's just say, not every quick fix fixes everything. But with a Stanbic loan, he gets the upgrade he needs and the freedom to actually breathe. With a Stanbic loan, the only thing choosing you are your dreams.
When malaria strikes your home, it strikes everything. No more endless worry because of malaria. Fight malaria back with Vegetem. Vegetem is effective, safe, and fast-acting against malaria. Vegetem tablets stays effective right to the very tablets. Vegetem is also available in suspension for children. Vegetem, tough on malaria, easy on you.
My ultimate goal is to become a world champion. This journey isn't just about today, it's about the legacy we build. Carved in sweat, forged in discipline, earned in the shadows. I was born in the gym. I was raised by a coach. But my passion wakes me before sunrise. And when everything goes quiet, my dedication remains. This is my legacy in the making. My name is Jerry Lati.
More power. More power. Ghana ha, hustle na ntwa obi awo. Eno ti na more power bobo ya. Ana me di me juma. Ni hu aden na ni part so.
More power bobo ya na ye papa. Abobo ya we enu hwamoda. abobo ya kokotako ne ho den rough abobo ya we ne tumirika no
fiti dwom ade kwa site fiti ya foam ade ba street more power abobo ya masa
more power abobo ya affordable quality power choose the ope ni enkoyanim
Ghana, get ready. On 28th December 2025, Tomric Hotel presents Sound Crime. Oh yes. Come and enjoy our sumptuous fufu, ubedi bankuana, goat light soup, palm nut soup, and all your favorite authentic flavors. On 28th December, Diane Pankwa, good vibes and good live band music from the Magical Groove Band. All your favorite local drinks also good day. 12 p.m. Pepper starting, and it's only 400 Ghana cedis. Call to book now on 0501 565 638 or 0509 858 415. Memesi location at Tomric Hotel, East Legon of the Lagos Avenue. Tomric Hotel, hospitality redefined.
In the beginning, life feels heavy. But then, hope arrives. Star 446 hash saves you in the Dewa Chop Money draw at 10 a.m.
Congratulations!